Hello and welcome to the DPN car collection, and I thought I'd do this little video as what we're going to be doing is replacing with a part we've got from a scrapyard, the cup holder that goes in the back seat with our silver Rover 75 2003, and you're probably aware that these are normally sprung loaded, so you'd push them in slightly and it would spring out, but as you can hopefully see with this one, it has to be pulled out by hand. It's a little bit stiff at the end. It does go back in, but it's certainly not working right now. I know you can repair them, but I didn't want to get it out and find you couldn't repair it, so we got a replacement from the scrapyard. Now the other thing that's broken on this one is the sort of bezel that goes round it. I don't know if you can see the little clips on it are damaged as well. That one there at the top, there should be two, and here at the bottom there's one that's been snapped off. This actually has been broken since we had the car, but because the cover sat on and it didn't really show that it was damaged, it hasn't been a high priority to change, and we're not really one for eating and drinking in the car because we try and avoid them being damaged. And I think one of the quickest ways you can sort of age a car or get it grubby is eating and drinking, but it's still nice if the cup holder does work. So we constantly sort of looked, and then about a year and a half ago we found this replacement one that works as it should do. So when you push it there, you can see it springs right out, and that little bottom bit can drop down, and it also comes with a bezel that is completely undamaged, and we've had that ready to a time we're able to fit it. So the first thing you've got to do is get this seat up and out the way. We're not going to completely take it out of the car because I don't think that's needed, so I'll show you first of all how you do it. We've already got it detached, so I can just lift it up and show you what you need to do. Right, so hopefully you can see that I've got the seat pulled into the up position, and what you can see is that there's this wire frame. Now that wire frame is supporting the seat, it's holding the cup holder there, and it's also what holds the seat down, but it's not held down particularly difficult. Actually, it's quite nice. If you look there, there's that mounting with two rods running through the middle, and if we come down here, you see that it clips over that, so a gentle little pull should pull it over that without doing any damage. And then if you see there, you've got this piece of rod on the seat, and if we look right down there, you'll see that piece there. If I move a hand back out the way, that bit of metal bracket, and basically that rod there hooks over that. So what you have to do is get your hand down, push the front of the seat, and sort of hook it backwards and then out, and that's the same on the opposite side. You can see that clip there and that bracket there. Now if you want to take the seat right out, the seat belt does go through it, so you'd have to unbolt that as well. We're not going to do that because now it's lifted up, we should be able to get the cup holder out. So I'll show you how to do that next. Right, so if I show you on the replacement cup holder, on the underneath, which is a bit the face down towards the bottom of the car, you see you've got these plastic tabs, and there's 4 of those, and if we come up to the seat, you'll see those plastic tabs hopefully there, and you'll see this bar, and what you have to do is get that bar unclipped from those tabs. So what I find I've done is I've basically pushed this down so that this rod here comes unclipped from these tabs. So if you push it, or push it downwards and out, they will come unclipped. You can see there, if I just push it down, I'll get you a little bit better focused. There we go. So you can see there, I'm just pushing it down there, so it's come unclipped, then push it forwards so that it goes over this bar and starts to travel up past this rod, and then it should come out the front of the seat. It's going to be a little bit fiddly, and there is a plastic part of this seat you're going to have to get it by, so it'll be a case of slowly now manoeuvring it out, then putting it back in will be the same. You'll push it down past these little plastic clips and then bring them up and push it back up so it clips in and holds. So I'm going to get that out now. And that is it out. Now it was a little bit fiddly of pushing it from the underneath and then bringing this plastic collar here that's part of the seat, sort of each time you pull it forward that gets caught up on it, and you have to sort of work it over and pull it out a little bit more. And obviously when you come up you have to watch that the second set of clips don't get caught as well. Now hopefully this may be a repairable bit, but as I said, we're getting lots of different bits from the scrapyard at the time, so we thought it was worth getting a new one. And then if we can repair this, it's a good spare for both of our 75. So now in the reverse order, I'm gonna slowly put this one back in. That needs a little bit of a clean first, so I'm going to do that and then we're get it put in. Right, so we've slowly been edging this back into place, and what I've done before we get those plastic clips into position down there, what I've been doing is, you may remember there was this kind of white plastic that's in here under the leather of the seat, and that basically gets caught up on a ridge that's round here. So what I've been doing is using a plastic trim tool and slowly easing it round all the way around and over the ledge, so it's now kind of sitting roughly in place. And then what we do is push it down slightly further, pull it out, and then get those lugs up over that metal rod. So we're going to do that now. Right, so hopefully that's a bit better view now of the plastic lugs, the top two and the lower down two there. So what we're going to do is push it slightly down past them and get those lugs into position. So we'll do that next. As you can see, I'm slowly pulling it down and then over, pull that one down and get it over. Then we'll push it up and clip it into position, and that should then have this held right in place. Right, so now hopefully you can see that the metal is now into those clips lower down, and if we come up a little bit, hopefully you can just see it's in place there. So that is now in place, and if we just come back a little bit more so you can see that is all working as it should do, so nothing's been affected there. And then if we get a little bit in close, you can see now that that little plastic ridge is over that ledge there, so it's all sitting round as it should do, and we now should be able to fit in the bezel that should then protect and cover up this leather sort of stitching that's cut round, which hopefully, there you go, you can see that there. Right, so that's that bezel on. As you can see, that's sitting nicely there as we've got the seat up, and it is a little bit fiddly to get on because I think you could very easily break those tabs, but I've gently worked it around, and then all of a sudden you can feel it's clipped on as it should be. Now all we've got to do is get the seat back and get it into those clips there, and also the ones that are a bit of a job to really see just down there. Yeah, so I'll just reposition the torch, and you can see there's that lug there, and there's a little bit of metal rodding that clips into it, and that's the same on the other side, both sides there. So we'll get the seat all clipped back now. One little tip is that while you're manoeuvring things about, these seat belt plugs may end up dropping down. Then you get all your seat back and find that you can't get these seat belts, so it's well worth pulling them through. Lucky enough this flap was open, we noticed that, and I was able to hook them back through. It's certainly well worth considering that as well. And that is the seat all back in. Actually, it's always the last little bits that sometimes cause some of the problems. You remember I showed you how this seat hooks in. This far side hooked in nicely. This back side, or the side nearest to me, which would be the driver's back passenger side, we had a problem getting the wire hooked in at the back, and what we did in is re-bent it. So we assume at some point it had been bent out of place, and actually I think this side come out easy, so it's possible it was never hooked in at the back, but it's now hooked in and sitting nicely. And the other thing that makes me think that is that this surround is now sitting better, so I assume by it being hooked in at the back, this whole seat is sitting a lot better. And now it is a complete working cup holder, so it's another little bit that, as I said, got left because we don't tend to use the cup holders, and when it was folded away it didn't particularly notice, apart from this bezel not fitting quite right. But it certainly is worth doing, and it is nice to have a working cup holder. And what we've got is one spare that hopefully, if we can repair, which I don't see any reason why we can't, that will be a spare for either car, and then you can swap them over and repair them in your own time. So that's the end of this video. As always, don't forget to look back at some of the videos we've done, as there's often some useful little tips and showing you how we get around things. And as I say, when I'm looking for videos, it's sometimes the visual reference and seeing what things like before you start taking it to bits helps, and hopefully our videos do that. Don't forget to look at our Instagram page and Twitter as well, and if you've liked this video, like it and subscribe to our channel for more. As always, thank you very much for watching.